One of the problems that we have with being able to increase our visa appointments is that our visa appointment system is manipulated by the visa facilitators that function here especially in Lagos. So unfortunately, visa facilitators and travel agents and some others manipulate our visa appointment system for their own financial gain. And even though in Lagos they operate in the parking lot right next door to our consular operations, we really have little control over that. So before we talk about the specifics, I really want to reiterate that there's no reason to pay any additional fees to a visa facilitator or a travel agent. As of right now, there are thousands of appointments available for this new No-Interview Renewal program.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So many of you guys may have heard the great news that the US consulate in Nigeria has started a new visa program, well, a pilot program that helps Nigerians easily navigate applying for a visa to the USA without the need to actually physically attend an interview. Many of you will know that in the past, we used to have a similar process, but in 2019, it got scrapped. And many of you would also know that getting a visa appointment to the US is insane in Nigeria. Like sometimes if you go on the site, you have to wait 2 years or a year for an appointment interview. And a lot of appointments have actually been taken by visa agents and travel agents illegally. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you communication directly from the US consulate here in Nigeria with regard to what exactly is this new program all about, because it's not exactly like the whole program, even though it has clear similarities. I'm also going to be sharing with you specifically who it applies to, who can actually jump on this No-Interview Visa program. Sharing also the process of application. Also talking about why exactly the US government actually stopped the dropbox system in 2019. And finally, the issues that the US Embassy and Consulate has had with regard to the appointment system, right, in Nigeria. I'm going to be sharing a lot and commenting on their communication. So this is going to be a super long video. To help you easily navigate the whole video, I'm going to be creating like a table of contents or chapters, right? Whereby I'm going to be giving you timestamps and telling you specifically what will be in that particular stamp, what topic I'll be addressing or will be addressing in that particular timestamp, so that you can easily jump to the content that directly is of interest to you without the need to go through the whole video. If it's your first time here, my name is Sassy Funke and I'm a Nigerian travel and lifestyle content creator, really creating to help Nigerians globally navigate travel better and smarter. If you feel like you want honest, trustworthy, reliable travel information, and this is something you or your family members can benefit from, I ask that you please click that red subscribe button down below. I'm trying to make it to 100,000 subscribers. You can make it happen. So please, please, please click that red subscribe button down below. And also, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Like, it really encourages me to create more. So thumbsing up is a great way to signal that, you know what, I love what you're doing, Funke. Keep doing more. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into the video so that we can talk through it together. So I'm going to play from the beginning.
Good morning, everyone. The pilot project will launch here at the consular section in Lagos today, and we expect to expand the pilot program to our consular section in Abuja in the near future.
So, clear to say that it's only operational in Lagos right now, not in Abuja yet.
The pilot program specifically will significantly increase the opportunities that Nigerians will have to apply to renew a visa if they've already been issued a US visa in the past and they meet certain criteria for eligibility.
So essentially it's saying that, you know, for people that have received a visa in the past, right, and also meet certain criteria, they're the ones that will be able to apply or come on board this program to apply for a visa by the program.
And this program is one of our continuing efforts that we've been making for the past year since we were closed for a short period in the beginning of the pandemic, to increase the consular services that we provide to both Nigerians and Americans living in Nigeria, despite the ongoing challenges that we continue to face as a result of the pandemic. The good news is that our consular sections in both Abuja and Lagos have been fully open for services for over a year now, and we've been able to provide a full range of services for both Nigerians and Americans, for those seeking to go to the US on tourist travel or immigrate to the US. And that's really fortunate because a lot of consular sections throughout the world are still completely closed, especially for non-immigrant visa services. So many Nigerians have already been able to apply for both immigrant and non-immigrant visa services. That being said, we know that it's still extremely difficult to get a visa appointment either at the consular section here in Lagos or the consular section in Abuja. And the intent of the new program that we'll talk a little bit more about in a few minutes is to allow us to increase our services for people seeking to travel to the US for tourism or some types of work or to study, while still being able to provide the services that we have to provide to Americans who are living in Nigeria, like renewing passports and obtaining birth certificates for their children, and the services that we need to provide to Nigerians who want to immigrate to the United States to reunite with family or for some types of work. Like I said, this new program is part of our continuing efforts that we've been making for the past year to increase the number of services that we can provide. Recently, we had a program that was run in November and December of last year, through which we really prioritized visa applications for Nigerians who wish to study in the United States beginning in the spring semester. And through that program, we were able to process over 8,000 student visas for Nigerian students. And that's a huge number that we were able to do in a very short time. So we are very much focused on creative and innovative ways that we can increase what we are doing to provide consular services for Nigerians, despite the fact that we still have a lot of limitations from the pandemic. So I know a lot of people in Nigeria know very well that we used to have something here called the Interview Waiver Program. Most people here refer to it as the Dropbox program. That program, as everybody knows, was suspended in 2019. And I know everybody's familiar with it because we continue to get frequent questions from the press about what happened to that program, why was it suspended, when's it coming back, and I know there'll be lots of questions about our new program and whether it's the same program just being restarted. So let me start by just explaining how the US government looks at visa policies and programs. One of the things that the US government as a whole and the individual consulates and embassies abroad look at when we're talking about new visa policies and programs are two things. One, does the visa policy or program allow us to make sure that we're protecting US border security, which is our highest priority? And then, is it helping us facilitate legitimate travel to the United States?
I love when she said, does it let them promote legitimate travel to the US, right? Meaning that are people that are actually applying on the basis of, is it true, not fraudulent, right? So I feel like that's going to come up.
It comes to interview waiver programs. One of the things we found with the program we had that was suspended in 2019 was that it didn't help with either of those things. We found that there was a lot of fraud in the applications that were coming in through our interview waiver process. And we also found a very high overstay rate of people who got issued visas through that program and then traveled to the United States. Even though...
So essentially, they're saying that one of the reasons why they stopped the program is that it didn't protect borders and it also wasn't legitimate. People's intention wasn't, legitimate, right? And she's just saying here that a lot of people were fraudulent applications were fraud, right? They weren't applying for the right thing. It was not, true. And also people were overstaying, right? Because you should know, I think most times you can stay in the US for 6 months and a lot of people are just overstaying, right? So those are it seems the main reasons why they canceled the program, the Dropbox program in 2019.
Even though they had all already been issued visas in the past.
So even these are for people that have already been issued visas in the past. So I guess it's going to show that, you know, just because you've been issued a visa in the past doesn't mean that you're unlikely to overstay or like break the rule.
We also found that it really didn't help with our overall productivity or efficiency or customer service, because surprisingly we found that consular officers were having to call over 50% of the people who applied through that program in for interviews anyway, even though...
Wow, that is huge. She's basically saying here that for those people that were on that visa, on that interview waiver program back in the day, that they actually had to call them. Over 50% of the people had to be called back in to actually get an interview. So it actually probably gave them more work to do, right? And productivity just wasn't what they expected it to be.
They already met certain eligibility criteria that would allow them not to have an interview. But there were so many questions in the applications that we received that we were calling quite a few people in, which was not good for customer service, and it was not good for our productivity. So when we're talking about the new program that we're instituting, there are some similarities and there are also some differences.
So she's basically making it clear that this new visa program isn't exactly the one as the one before, right? So a lot of time people think, oh, it's the same thing, but I'm sure in her messaging, she probably explained what the differences are.
And the reasons it's being rolled out as a pilot just in Lagos first is that we can take a good look at the applications we're getting and the process and make some changes if we need to, as we decide if the program's working to, again, help us protect U.S. border security as well as facilitate legitimate travel to allow us to increase productivity, efficiency, and customer service.
All right, so I think what she's hinting at here is that this is a pilot program, right? Currently going to it's starting off in Lagos, and if it works well, it will hopefully start in Abuja. But I guess it's important to note that pilot means that it might actually get canceled again. If people, I guess, abuse it, that is what she's inferring from that statement.
So, you know, when we look at whether this program will be continued, we certainly intend to roll it out to the consular section in Abuja as soon as possible. We hope to make this a more permanent facet of how we are able to increase our visa appointments. But again, it really depends on these factors. So when we're looking at why it was suspended in 2019 and what we're doing now, those are the kinds of things that we're looking at.
She's basically implying that y'all should not be fraudulent. Like if everyone's going to be behaving the way they were behaving before, it's not going to work.
So we're going to talk in just a few minutes about the specifics of our program that we're launching this week, which is a little bit different than it used to be. We'll talk about some of the procedures, and we'll also talk about where everybody can find the correct information. But first, I just wanted to talk a little bit about one of the other challenges that we as consular sections here in Lagos and Abuja face in Nigeria. One of the problems that we have with being able to increase our visa appointments is that our visa appointment system is manipulated by the visa facilitators that function here especially in Lagos. So unfortunately, visa facilitators and travel agents and some others manipulate our visa appointment system for their own financial gain. And even though in Lagos they operate in the parking lot right next door to our consular operations, we really have little control over that because they're not operating on our property and we can't police them ourselves. Unfortunately, the visa facilitators here operate with impunity. They operate for financial gain. And as long as they're allowed to do that, and as long as Nigerians continue to pay the very high fees to them to get an appointment, that will likely continue, and that makes it very hard for us to really control the number of visa appointments that we make available. So
what she's basically saying here is, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians in Lagos and Nigeria as a whole know about this, right? That if you go on the US, well, as at last week, if you go on the US Embassy consulate website for Lagos and you try to get an appointment, some of the appointments are like 2 years, right? The earliest appointment is like over a year. from now, like think about you trying to get a visa, a visiting visa to the US, and you have to wait a year for an interview. Madness. And the reason why she's saying the reason why it is because a lot of people that are helping people get visas or travel agents is that they go and book out all these appointments, right? And then they go and sell an appointment for like 500,000 naira. I've heard this happen, right? And essentially the US consulate is saying we have no control over this. We cannot police these people. That some of them even work like right beside them in terms of like proximity from their building, but they can't police them because they're not on their property, right? And she makes it clear that as long as, people keep paying this huge fees for these appointments, it's going to continue, right? All the visa appointment will be taken.
So before we talk about the specifics, I really want to reiterate that there's no reason to pay any additional fees to a visa facilitator or a travel agent. As of right now, there are thousands of appointments available for this new No-Interview Renewal program. They're available online right now, and as long as you meet the criteria and follow the procedures that I'm about to describe, there's no reason to pay somebody to get that appointment.
I love that. I think this point is a point I've always been raising to a lot of people, is that a lot of the times you can do these things yourself. You can apply for a visa yourself, right? Everything's very transparent. It's very easy online. And don't let a visa agent convince you, for example, that you need to use them to apply for a visa. Like some people might need the guidance, right? If they don't, but if, you can read well, you can understand English well, they're not doing anything special, right? If your case is, simple, just read the information on the site, go on there. Don't let anybody convince you that you need to pay them to get an appointment.
One of the real challenges with paying somebody for the appointment is that the visa facilitators use fake information to book these appointments. So then when you buy an appointment from them, you don't know what information they've put in the system. Once the information is entered into this system is part of your consular service record with us. And we see a lot of people who paid a facilitator who don't even know what was used to book their appointment, and then they come in and we're not able to see them because the information in the system doesn't match the information that they have in their passport and what they're telling us.
Right. So she's saying one of the big issues we're actually trying to use this facilitators or these agents to book out the appointments is that they use any information. When they're booking the appointments, they just put anybody's information and they sell you this information, right? But obviously, the information they put in is on the US consulate system. So when you come in, the information doesn't match and they can't see you. So it's just a waste of money.
So again, there are thousands of appointments available right now for people to participate in this program if you meet the criteria. And I really urge people to do this themselves. Don't pay somebody to do it for you, and you don't know what will come of that. So all of the information is available to the public on ustraveldocs.com. So once you go to that site, you'll pick your country, which is obviously Nigeria, and you'll end up in this page. There is a lot of information in Nigeria that circulates, fake websites. You'll see frequently fake press releases. We get inquiries all the time from the press asking if a press release is real. If it's not on our website, either the U.S. Embassy Nigeria website or the ustraveldocs.com website, that means it's not real. These are your two sources of information. So don't believe anything you see about new programs. We frequently see press releases about, new work visa programs. That's all fraudulent, and that's all for somebody's personal financial gain. Please go to this website for the actual information. So this is the ustraveldocs.com website, and we've already clicked through to Nigeria. So this information specifically pertains to what Nigerians can use to apply for a visa appointment. So when you first come to the website, you will see these red banners. These red banners are the most important information. There are new updates. There's important updates about the COVID testing or different procedures that might be required. There's updates about visa fees, document delivery. Today we're talking about the No-Interview Visa Renewal system. So it's not a dropbox, it's a No-Interview Visa Renewal procedure. And here you can see a little bit of information about it. The program that we're running now is for certain categories of visas. So there are tourist visas, there are student visas, some academic exchange visas, and some work visas. So if you have a question about the specific types of visas, they're right here. You can see the categories. Oh, I missed crew visas. So for people working on ships or airlines, those are also visas that they can renew. You need to have already been issued the visa in the category that you want to renew.
Okay, so this is actually quite important. She stated the specific categories of visas that are eligible for this interview waiver, right? But she's also saying that you need to, if you want to renew, you must have had a visa in that specific category before. So you can't say because you've had a visiting visa, you want to renew, you want to get a visa for work. It wouldn't apply, if that makes sense.
So if I've had a student visa before, I can't use this program to get a tourist visa. If I've had a tourist visa before, I can renew a tourist visa if I meet the criteria. And your visa needs to have expired in the last 24 months from the day you apply, or be expiring in the next 3 months.
Okay, so it would have had to have expired in the past 2 years, or it's going to apply in the next 3 months.
So people should carefully check their last visa to make sure it meets those requirements. So once you get on this page, if you want more information, and again, this is the real information that comes from us, so don't listen to any other information you may see out there. You can go to Renew My Visa. And then right here, you will see all the information. And you'll see right now, most of this information pertains to people applying in Lagos. Now, that's not to say that somebody who lives in Abuja can't apply right now. They absolutely can. They're just going to need to be processed through the consular section in Lagos until we expand this to Abuja. So what I would like people to really pay attention to is all this information here that's broken down by the visa classification that you're interested in, and make sure that you meet all these criteria before you proceed.
Right, so that's actually very important that they've actually been very specific with regard to the criteria under each visa category that you need to, fulfill before you can apply under this program.
Once you look at this and decide that you are qualified for the program, then you can log into your account. And anyone who's renewing a visa that recently expired probably still has an account on this website. So you'll log in, and once you log in, you will see that you can choose New Appointment or Renew My Appointment. So for those participating in this program, as long as you meet the criteria, you will select Renew My Appointment. You'll need to have already paid your visa fee, which is currently $160, and you'll use that to schedule a time to drop off your application for renewal without an interview. Now, one thing that's important to mention about the visa fee, and that's also all on this, is that visa fees normally are only valid for 1 year, and after 1 year, if you haven't used it, it will expire. However, over the course of the pandemic, the US government has been extending that validity period so that people have more time to try to get a visa appointment. So currently, worldwide, all visa fees are still valid until September 30th, 2023. So that's like 18 months from now, or more than that. That's a good period of time for you to use that visa fee in the next year and a half. You'll need to have paid that fee, like I said, before you book your appointment. Once you log in and you put in your visa fee, you'll have to answer a series of questions to make sure that you actually qualify for the program. And it's important you answer those truthfully, because if somebody is not too sure and doesn't have the correct information, we will not be able to accept it, and then you'll have already used your visa fee for the program, and you may not be able to find another visa appointment right away. After you do that, you'll print out a letter, which is what you'll take with you, and it tells you the date and time and everything you need to bring when you come to drop off your application for a renewal without an interview. You'll come here on that date and time, and just like you would if you're coming for an interview, you'll join us outside in our visa pavilion and submit all your documents. But instead of having to come in for an interview, that will be it. We'll process your application. It's important to note that not everyone who applies, even if they meet the criteria, will receive their visa without an interview. Like I was mentioning before from the program that was suspended in 2019, there are people who will have to call in for an interview, even if they meet the criteria, because we'll have some questions about a prior travel history or maybe an arrest record in the United States or something else that we need to clarify.
Yeah, so essentially she's saying that even though, you know, obviously this is an interview waiver, some people will still be requested to actually come in to sort of for questioning, basically.
And they will have to come for an interview. If you are qualified for the program and qualified for the visa, we'll send your visa and passport back to you to the DHL site that you selected as part of this initial process. If you are not qualified to renew without an interview, we need to see you. You'll receive your passport and a letter to that effect back, and then you can book a separate appointment to come in for that interview. When you come in the morning to drop off your application, one thing that's important to know is that you'll need to come in person, or if you're a family, one person from that family can come. What we don't want is to create a whole new industry for our visa facilitators to charge to drop off people's passports. So we ask that you come in person, and then if we have any questions, we can ask you right then to make sure.
Right, so they're saying that all applicants have to come in individually. And if you're a family, one person can represent the family.
Make sure that we have all the information we need. For children, children also must qualify on their own for this program. So children who've already had a visa that expired in the last 24 months or will expire in the next 3 months and meet the other criteria are welcome to apply for renewal through this program. Minors who haven't been issued a visa before, even if their parents meet the qualifications, will not be able to apply through this program.
Wow, so this is actually important to know that if a minor hasn't, even though the parent has received a visa before and is eligible for the program, but if their child hasn't had a visa before, the child will not be able to apply based on the program.
And I think that is everything that I wanted to mention about the program. So just to recap, the important highlights, I think, are that the program is launched today. There are thousands of appointments currently available for people to meet the criteria. I would urge people that are interested and who meet the criteria to go online today to book the appointments before they're gone. Please don't pay a visa facilitator. Please do it yourself, and you can make sure you have all the information you need right here, ustraveldocs.com, select Nigeria, and proceed to apply that way. You'll come on the day and time of the appointment that you pick just to drop off your documents, and then we'll return your passport and visa if you qualify back through the DHL site you selected when you applied. The current processing time for this, we're estimating up to 2 months. It may be much shorter, but because we're accepting a large number of applicants this month, you can expect that it could be as long as, 2 months to get your visa back. So please make sure you understand that and think about travel plans before you apply through this program. Okay. You know, make sure you look online, read the information, and book soon if you believe you qualify for the program. If you don't qualify right now because your visa maybe is expiring in 5 months, not 3 months, or if there's other issues, if you can't find an appointment because you don't get online in time to get an appointment, continue to check back. Monitor ustraveldocs.com. Don't rely on information that you see in unverified sources anywhere that's not on our website. Make sure that you don't listen to your friends and family for advice. Don't go to a visa facilitator, even though I know if you need an appointment, it's tempting to do that. Just rely on the information that you have at hand, and we hope to see that all of these appointments go quickly, because that means we'll be able to really help a lot of Nigerians apply for the visa renewal program without an interview. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So guys, that is incredible news, right? I know a lot of people in Nigeria have been, very sort of, I guess, upset with regard to actually, having to wait so long for a visa appointment. I think this is great news. I think it's important for, let's not encourage all these fraudulent activities, right? Because if we keep behaving the way we're behaving by spending so much money to get appointments or whatnot, first of all, most likely the visas will not be issued to us because the information will be fake. Second of all, we risk the government, the US consulate, actually canceling the pilot program, right? So let's be smart. I really hope the video has been super, super useful. I'm going to make sure I link all the official links below. I think it's really important. I always say this to people. When it comes to information generally, not just in Nigeria, globally, always use trusted sources, right? Fake news like on WhatsApp spreads like wildfire, right? Fake news is not going to get anybody anywhere, right? If you want to get right information, go to the government's website and you get your information there. Like, let me know, like, what are your thoughts on this new program? Are you excited? Are you happy about it? It's a long time coming. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you once again for watching my video. I really appreciate your love and support, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.